Weeks back, we caught wind of the Pixel 8 potentially releasing with a temperature sensor, and while we'll have to wait for it to actually come out to see how good it's going to be, it made me think of the many one-off Pixel features that we had in the past. So let's take a quick look here at the top 5 Pixel features that we wish would return, and let's see how they stack up in 2023. For this video, we're going to start with the coolest and most unique features first, and the first spot definitely goes to the dual front-facing speakers last seen on the Pixel 3 series. I understand dual front-facing speakers may take away from the sleek, bezel-less look that a lot of manufacturers are going for these days, but when I picked up a Pixel 3 XL lately and noticed how much louder it was compared to my new Pixel 7, I knew I had to talk about it. Of course, these days, the alternative solution of front-facing top speaker, outward-facing bottom speaker do work well enough, or even the under-display speaker that used vibrations to emit sound like we saw on the Pixel 5, that worked fine too. Everyone's different in this regard, but to me, something about the dual front-facing speaker, specifically on the Pixel 3 XL, is just so satisfying to consume content on. Next is a personal favorite of mine, and I wish that I had more phones that had this function, but that's going to be the squeeze to activate Google Assist. These days, there are barely any additional ways to interact with your phone, so squeezing to activate the voice assistant was and still is a pretty awesome feature once you got used to it. In most cases, you were already holding your phone in a fashion where you could squeeze it, so using it to stealthily activate Google Voice, or even the ability to remap that to do other things like turn on the camera or the flashlight, is just something I greatly miss in modern phones, and I would love to see this feature return again someday. And I'd even argue that it's better than the modern day solution of holding down the power button to get Google. I like the squeeze. I think it's a very useful feature, and we should definitely see them on more phones. These days, Pixel hardware is pretty great, but something that I really miss is the crazy third color option that they used to release with Pixels in the past. Specifically, the Pixel 1 looked amazing in the really blue color, and the Pixel 4 stood out in a crazy way with their oh so orange color. I loved these ridiculous out there color options, and honestly, all manufacturers need to put more effort into that crazy third color option instead of the traditional black and white or black and green colors that we see these days. In my own personal opinion, everything released color-wise after the Pixel 4 maybe was kind of boring, at least until the 7a series where they started to bring back these fun colors, and I'm super happy to see it. And while we're at it, what happened to all the cool, fun cases? The fabric cases from back in the day were awesome. They looked very stylish, and I feel like no other manufacturer had anything like this in their lineup. And I get it. The durability probably wasn't the greatest, but still, it was a very unique design that set the Pixel apart in a huge way, and I really do hope that we see something like this return in the future. This next feature is a little bit of a mixed bag. Me personally, I don't need it, but I see the Android community constantly talking about it, and dedicated hardware fingerprint scanners seem to be a feature many people wished would return. I understand the in-display fingerprint scanner on the Pixel 6 and 7 aren't the best, aren't the fastest out there. They're getting better, but I can understand why some people wish for the old school back of the phone fingerprint scanner. It was convenient, pretty reliable, and most people normally have their fingers hovering around that scanner area anyway, so ease of use was never an issue. Not to mention, in the early days of Pixel, they had features built into that little fingerprint scanner that you could use it as like a mini trackpad to bring down notifications, and I know that if Google spent more time on it, they could have fleshed it out to be something super useful. And finally, this last one is 100% personal, and that is the colored accent buttons. To me, it was an iconic Pixel staple that slowly disappeared over time, and while this has no bearing on the actual device itself, it was a simple, fun way to give the Pixel lineup a bit of style and a bit of flair. I felt like it would fit in perfectly with the Material You software push they've been initiating, and it would have just added quite a bit of character to the newer Pixel lineup. And as an alternative, if they don't want to add this to their actual phones, do what they did with the Pixel 3 and add that accent power button to a case lineup or something like that. And with that approach, I think everybody wins there. Overall, this is more of a nostalgic thing than anything else, but I really do wish that we could see them return in some capacity in the future. At the end of the day, I'm just an old school Pixel fan, and talking about that temperature sensor for the Pixel 8 just made me think about these awesome one-off features that we had back in the day. So let me know, am I crazy? Are these features awesome, or am I just glamorizing them in my head? I'd love to hear your comments, because I can't feel I'm the only one that loves some of these features or even all of them. So please leave a comment, let me know. I just would love to hear from you guys on what you think of these features. So other than that though, this has been Jordan Floyd from 9to5 Google. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.